Foodie gang, 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 gang. Foodie gang, 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 gang. Foodie gang, 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 gang.
Foodie gang, gang, gang.
Food gang, gang, gang.
Foodie gang, 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 gang. Foodie gang 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 gang. Foodie gang 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 gang.
Foodie gang gang gang.
Food gang gang gang.
Foodie gang gang gang.
Food gang gang gang. Food gang gang gang.
What is going on? What is going on? You are tuned in to Kitchen Talk with Chef Big Bank, season 2. Almost at 1. They almost got me. Season 2, episode 50. Hold on, let me just make sure. Episode 51. We are just chugging along. So if you missing episodes, be sure to go back and check them out. Hit the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn on the notification bell every Wednesday at 9 a.m. I'm dropping free recorded content going live randomly. So make sure you turn on the bell. Today I went live And I made meal prep salads with you guys, so make sure you go and check out that live stream. And I have some great content on 907 goodies to support this channel and keep the stove on. Foodie Gang, hit the Cash App, money sign, Chef Big Bank, and join my group on Facebook, Chef Big Bank Foodie Gang fan page. Over 1,000 foodies from all around the world. Follow me on all my social medias platforms: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Rumble. And get your Foodie Gang merch. We got the Foodie Gang store open now. And I do have some announcements to make. So, Foodie Gang, how is everyone's day going? I know it's late night, but we got to get this out of the way. You know, this is going to be Food Explored cruise ship buffets. So, we're going to talk all about cruise ship buffets. So, stay tuned for the live stream. Okay, I am going to share my screen with you guys and show you the Facebook group. And I do have an announcement to make with all of you, Foodie Gang. And how is everyone's day going? Well, it's been a good day. You know, it was real sunny outside today, so I made sure that I spent some time outside today. Like I said, I made salads and they were really, really good. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Get this out of the way. Here we go. Here we go. This is the group on Facebook, Chef Big Bank Foodie Gang fan page. And if at any point in time my mic sounds weird, go ahead and let me know. And I want to do a shout out to Miss Solistic coming through the door first. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is the group. We're at 1.5K members. We just celebrated our 1K milestone, and I also did a live stream on that. And this is what I wanted to show you, Foodie Gang. Let me make sure this is coming up. You always got to come back and check. So, yes, we selected a winner for the Foodie Gang first annual Grill Off contest, and it was Nicole. So let me see if I can make this bigger. Yes, so here is the winning dish that we selected for the Foodie Gang first annual Grill Off contest. It was a great competition, and her food looks amazing. So it is a bunch of grilled fruits and vegetables, as well as some grilled protein. There is shrimp back there, and I believe this is tuna. But this looks delicious. So let me see. Yes, Foodie Gang. So that is the winner of the Grill Off food contest. And I just want to show y'all a little bit of the group. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and join my group. I got the 907 Good Eats coffee mug today. Ooh, so this says tea time. So it looks like homemade tea. Okay, that's looking good. That's looking good. And what do we have here? Catfish fillets, green beans, mac and cheese, skin on mashed potatoes, biscuits topped with strawberry preserves, and bread pudding topped with pecans. Okay, So somebody is getting down. This looks delicious. Ooh, these are Boston cream classic donuts. Organic apricots, cherry plums. So yes, Free Gang, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and join the group. It is a lot of great looking food. And also share your food with us if you're someone that likes to cook. If you like to just look at food and if you want to learn new recipes and new cooking techniques, join the group. This says stew chicken, vegetable rice. Now that is looking delicious. And so you can see how before you know it, you can spend a lot of time in the group because everything just looks so delicious. So that is the Facebook group. Go ahead and join the Facebook group and hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, okay. So I am going to read the channel disclaimer and then we're going to hop right into the content. We're going to be talking about cruise ship buffets. So here we go. Here we go. Let me get a little sip. Welcome to 907 Goodies Kitchen Talk with Chef Big Bank. Please note that the information provided on our channel, including commentary and discussions, is for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. Comments and opinions expressed are those of the individuals and not those of 97 Goodies. While we strive to provide accurate and up-to-date information, we cannot guarantee its completeness, reliability, or accuracy. The use of the information provided on this channel is strictly at your own risk. We do not claim ownership of any third-party content featured on our channel. All third-party content is the intellectual property of the respective owners, and we respect their rights. Viewer discretion is advised for all content. So there we have it, foodie gang. We got that out of the way. Now we can get on to what we were here for. Let's talk about these cruise ship buffets. Now, I will admit to y'all, foodie gang, I have not been on a cruise yet. But don't worry, I'm gonna go on one. Don't even worry, especially after I show y'all what the food is looking like on these cruises. Now, I have not been on a cruise myself personally, but I have heard good things about cruises. I have heard good things about cruises. Yes. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn the notification bell on. Share this live stream with your friends. Okay, so I got a lot for us to go over today. Okay, we just gonna get right into it. We gonna get right into it. Let me make sure my sound is turned up. Okay, okay. Yeah, so I have not been on a cruise myself, but I plan to go on one, and I have heard great things about cruises, and I have heard that the great thing about them is that you just pay one price and everything is included. So, it's different than when you go on a vacation because you don't have to pay for all these things separately. They're already included in the price. And so I've heard it's a great bargain and it's a lot of fun. I have not gone on a cruise, but I've gone on like the dinner on a boat. Have y'all ever done that food again? I have.
On the Virgin Voyages cruise ship, and if there's one thing you have to see, it is all of the food. There are over 20 eateries on board, there are Michelin star restaurants, and some are even open for 24 hours. And the best part is all this food is free. Always got snacks on the go. There is so much to choose from. I really like this idea of the salad bar where you can pick and make your own salad mix with lots of awesome and healthy choices here. There is a sushi bar with different bento boxes every single day, as well as a noodle bar, and right next to it an entire selection of tacos, including breakfast tacos. There is also a 24/7 breakfast eatery. And of course, there are so many options to choose from here. Bacon, sausages, and eggs in any way that
Now, I would say foodie gang, I did not know cruises. I heard good things, but I did not know cruises was doing it like this. With like the 20, or she said a number of different eateries and all of this. I see now I want to go on a cruise for real.
you like. French toast, pancake. I think the Sweet Treats eatery is definitely the most visited. They have every selection you could possibly imagine and a wide selection on their breakfast menu. There's also a place where you can build your own bagel, sweet or savory, and there is new desserts every single day. Such a wide
Now, if y'all were here in season one, I did a coffee and bagels live stream. And so y'all know I'm a fan of bagels. And so the build your own bagel bar, that is a great idea.
selection here. And up here there's also a full Korean barbecue restaurant, which I thought was pretty cool. And this is all just on one level. So if you'd like to see more of the food, more of the restaurants, and more of what I get up to, follow along for more.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Like that was all on one level. And so these cruises, I've heard that they're like their own little world because there's so much to do on there, so many activities, so many entertainments. And I heard that they have shows apparently as well. And they're eating like this.
I'm currently on the Virgin Voyages cruise ship, and if there's one thing you have to see, it is all of the food. There are over 20 eateries on board, there are Michelin star restaurants, and some are even open for 24 hours. And the best part is all this food is free. Always got snacks on the go.
So remember the other day we were talking about what a Michelin star is, and I was telling y'all, it's the 5-star chefs, the top chefs. So a Michelin star restaurant is means that the chef that runs the restaurant is a 5-star chef and has gotten an award, which would be the Michelin star. So when they say that, they know that they can charge more for that particular food, restaurant, or venue because that person has a Michelin star. So another thing about the Michelin star, and when you start winning food contests and is food competitions, is that it gets your name out there and your brand out there. So then you're able to charge more in your career as you get more accomplishments, more awards, and of course Michelin star. It's like the same thing as like if you were an actor and you won an Oscar or a Grammy. Now that's the equivalent to what a Michelin star is for a chef. It's an award. It's like being recognized as being great. So Michelin star, we're gonna have to talk about that, y'all. But that means it's a really big award for a chef.
go. There is so much to choose from. I really like this idea of the salad bar where you can pick and make your own salad mix with lots of awesome and healthy choices here. There is a sushi bar with different bento boxes every single day, as well as a noodle bar, and right next to it an entire selection of tacos, including breakfast tacos. There is also a 24/7 breakfast eatery. And of course, there are so many options to choose from here. Bacon, sausages, and eggs in any way that you like. French toast, pancake. I think the Sweet Treats eatery is definitely the most visited. They have every selection you could possibly imagine.
You know, another thing about these cruise ships that has to be nice is that there is a lot of people on the cruise ship, so the food has to be it seems like the food would be rotating and it's not just sitting there. So it's like you're gonna always have fresh food if everything is run according to plan.
And a wide selection on their breakfast menu. There's also a place where you can build your own bagel, sweet or savory. And there is new desserts every single day. Such a wide selection here. And up here there's also a full Korean barbecue restaurant, which I thought was pretty cool. And this is all just on one level. So if you'd like to see more of the food, more of the restaurants, and more of what I get up to, follow along for more. I'm currently on the verge of
Now, if y'all have ever had Korean barbecue foodie gang, it is delicious. And I don't know if you can do this on the cruise ship, but normally at Korean barbecue, they bring you the meat to your table and then you grill the meat at the table. They'll have like a little tabletop grill. Now, this is on a cruise ship, so I don't know if their Korean barbecue is gonna be set up like that. I'm not sure. But that was all on one level. And the great thing about it is that you pay, like I said, one price and you get all these things that are available to you. And so if the food is good, then you should be happy. Now, if the food is nasty, I'm gonna feel like they played me and I'm gonna be mad. But if the food is good and the entertainment is good, you have a good experience, you have good service, then this could really be a good bargain to someone who vacations often. Now let's get to the next video and let's see cruise ship buffets and food explored. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell for more great content.
Okay, if you follow cruise circles, you've heard about the midnight buffet recently. Let's see what's on it, y'all. Midnight buffet's looking pretty good. Ham and cheese roll, meatball sub, chicken strips, hot dog, pizza, pepperoni pizza. Another kind of pizza maybe? Let's see. Okay, got 2 kinds of pizza, a little chili, chicken noodle soup, all packed away.
So as you can see, Foodie Gang, there were a lot of things that were available to him on the cruise ship that he was on. Let's watch that one more time and see if we miss anything.
Okay, if you follow cruise circles, you've heard about the midnight buffet recently. Let's see what's on it, y'all. Midnight buffet's looking pretty good. Ham and cheese roll, meatball sub, chicken strips, hot dog, pizza, pepperoni pizza. Another kind of pizza maybe? Let's see. Okay, got 2 kinds of pizza, a little chili, chicken noodle soup, all packed away.
Okay, so you can see he was eating good. He looked like he was really happy. He was just documenting his experience on a cruise ship. And let me tell you, Foodie Gang, from the 2 videos that we just seen, I definitely want to go on a cruise and I would love to explore the food and see what type of food is on the cruise ship.
The food that doesn't get eaten. While diners were enjoying these polished
So this video is going to talk about where the leftovers go because, we saw all the food that was being offered on the cruise ship and we saw, how big the cruise ship is. So there has to be a lot of people to eat on that food. But you have to ask yourself, what if there are leftovers? Where do they go? Because not everything is going to be eaten, not everything is going to be sold. So what do they do with leftovers? So this video is going to explain this to us. This is where buffet leftovers go on the world's largest cruise ship.
On the world's largest cruise ship, chefs can cook up to 4,000 lobster tails and 40,000 dessert portions daily to serve tens of thousands of meals. But what happens to all of the food that doesn't get eaten? While diners were enjoying these polished, endless buffets, I went behind the scenes on Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas to see what really happened to their food waste. Cruise ships bucket food waste into two main types. The first type is produced before food is even served. Kitchen scraps from food prep for the ship's 40 different restaurants, bars, and lounges. The second type comes from the food that's served, but for one reason or another, doesn't make it into passengers' mouths.
Okay, so let me explain a little bit of what they're saying, Foodie Gang. They're saying that there is two different types of waste. There is what they call compost, which is what happened, or like when you're prepping. Say like you have a pineapple, right? And you have to cut off a piece of pineapple that can't be eaten. So that goes into one waste. And then another waste that they have is for cooked food and that the customers do not finish. So they're classifying that as two different types of waste.
To reduce this kind of waste, workers measure buffet food items before they're served. After the buffet closes, the leftover food is collected and weighed. Workers then compare how much food was served versus how much went uneaten. They use information like this.
So when I worked in the kitchen, we used to do something like this as well. What we would do is we had a serving line as well, kind of similar to this. And what we would do is any food that was cooked, we would have to put it into waste buckets and then we would weigh it and then we would track it. And what they use those numbers for is all to do with profit. So we would have to do the same thing at my job. And let me tell you, when you see all that cooked food in the container together, it looks so nasty.
To adjust the food's quantity and portion sizes.
We identify, okay, hey, a third of every steak is coming back. Well, maybe the portion size is too big, and so we may make an adjustment around that. And so there's a lot of strategy we use around that to really make decisions that don't negatively impact the guest, but at the same time reduce waste.
All of the food waste, including what's left over on passengers' plates, eventually gets sucked into food pulpers and then travels into the pipes underneath where passengers dine.
So this is where all the food waste are coming through from the various places on the ship. The pipes there goes to everywhere there is a galley, so all of these are combined and they will end up here eventually.
After it's stored, the waste then
What is they talking about? They got a whole pipeline for the waste to go down? What?
goes through a system called microwave-assisted pyrolysis, or MAPS, which we weren't really able to see, but got some footage of from Royal Caribbean. MAPS dries the waste and creates pellets that can be turned into fuel for the ship.
It's the first of its kind, first on board a ship, and allows us to produce waste energy on board a ship for the first time.
While the cruise was still testing MAPS when we sailed in January 2024, it produced...
On average, it's roughly 200 kilowatts. So because it's the first of its kind prototype, it's not as big as we would have liked, but it can run almost the entire water park.
And Royal Caribbean told me it hoped to get up to 300 kilowatts from food waste. But 200 to 300 kilowatts of energy felt like a small amount for the world's largest cruise ship. So once I got back to the office...
Okay. Now, that's a lot going on. That's a lot going on in there. But the reason why they track the waste is so, like he said, they can adjust how much food they're making if they're seeing too much of something be wasted. They're going to make less. It is all designed to make sure that they are not spending too much in the wrong area. And it all has to do with spending. And they track the weights just to see what exact it's so it also gives them feedback and they're able to learn from there. Like if there's too many potatoes being wasted in the waste bucket, they're gonna make less potatoes. So that's the system for the kitchen. And y'all, let me tell y'all, when you go out to eat, it looks all simple because you're just the customer. But once you step into the kitchen and you're working in the kitchen, that's when things get complicated. That's when things get complicated and you have to worry about, too much waste. You have to worry about how the food tastes. You have to worry about the customers. And there's just a lot to worry about um, working in the kitchen. And it's a job that holds a lot of responsibility because, is you're cooking. So, you got to be making sure that your area is sanitized, you have the proper hygiene, you're making the right recipes, you're tasting your food as you go along. There's a lot that goes into cooking. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Food Explored Cruise Ship Buffets.
Is included in the base cost. Here are 5 things you need to know about buffets on board the Disney Cruise Line. Number 1 is something fairly obvious. All of the food at the buffet is included in the base cost of your cruise. Anything that you see offered at the buffet, you can get without paying any additional fee. Number 2, the buffet on board the Disney Cruise Line is typically only open for breakfast and lunch. Typically, the buffet is not open for dinner, although that can happen in some rare instances, but it is not guaranteed. The buffet will stop serving food after lunch hours have ended, and from that point on, if you are looking to eat on board the Disney Cruise, you will need to look elsewhere, to one of the quick service options or the sit-down dining for dinner, or of course, room service. Number 3, you can take
Disney ain't playing. They not like the first couple of cruise ships where they said 24-hour buffets and they had multiple different cafes, buffet lines, and everything. Disney ain't playing. They said we ain't got time. If you're not here on breakfast, don't even worry about it. You can't come out that dinner either. They ain't playing.
take the food from the buffet with you around the ship. If you want to grab a plate of food and just take it back to your room with you, that is absolutely something you can do. Or go take it and enjoy it out on a pool chair. There are very few restrictions on where you can take the food. Number 4, not only is there a buffet included on board each Disney cruise ship, there is also an included buffet on Disney's private island, Castaway Cay. Cookies BBQ operates on the island as a buffet and is included in the base cost of your cruise. It does, however, have a more limited selection than the onboard buffet. And last,
Okay, so it sounds like to me the way it works is they have buffets on the island. So wherever it docks at, it sounds like they have buffets there that you can eat on that have a more limited selection than the buffets on board. I think we're gonna watch this video again to make sure I'm getting it right.
number 5, the buffet will be open on the morning of your final day on the ship before you disembark. If you want to eat breakfast on the ship before leaving on your final day, you can do that at the buffet, but it will
I don't know, Fuji Gang. Let that breakfast wasn't looking that good to me. I'm going with the first couple of cruises. Disney, that look like, but it makes sense. It's for the kids, you know what I'm saying? But like, dang, I don't know what are those. The eggs? That was like a cinnamon roll, maybe a muffin. I don't know. Maybe he just picked the nasty food, or I don't know. But that ain't looking that good. And it's Disney, so they charge a whole lot for them tickets. because it's Disney.
Breakfast on the ship before leaving on your final day, you can do that at the buffet, but it will not be the full normal breakfast menu. None of the more elaborate breakfast offerings, just the basic American classics. Things that are simple to grab and go.
Okay, let's watch that again and make sure we got everything that he said all together. Cause he said a lot. Just based off of looks, I don't think the food on the Disney cruise was as good as the other cruises. Oh snap! I hit the wrong button. Here we go. Hold on, hold on. There we go. We back. We back. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, dropping pre-recorded content every Wednesday at 9 a.m. and going live randomly. Earlier today, I made meal prep salads for you guys to go check out that live stream.
Here are 5 things you need to know about buffets on board the Disney Cruise Line. Number 1 is something fairly obvious. All of the food at the buffet is included in the base cost of your cruise. Anything that you
See, like I don't know what that was that he had on our plate, but y'all, how much did this man pay for these tickets? Cause I'm about ready to say I want his money back for him. Cause that food is not looking okay. It's not. That was like mac and cheese. That might be some pizza. Dinner roll. I think that's a cheesecake with a hunk of chocolate on top. It's looking like a Playhouse cookie back there. And he might got some ketchup. Maybe I don't know if this man can pick his food out right, or I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't look that good compared to the other cruise ship buffets that I've previously played for us. Now, he just might not know how to put his food together, or the food could be nasty. I don't know.
included in the base cost of your cruise. Anything that you see offered at the buffet, you can get without paying any additional fee. Number 2, the buffet on board the Disney Cruise Line is typically only open for breakfast and lunch. Typically, the buffet is not open for dinner, although that can happen in some rare instances. But it is not guaranteed. The buffet will stop serving food after lunch hours have ended, and from that point on, if you are looking to eat on board the Disney Cruise, you will need to look elsewhere, to one of the quick service options or the sit-down dining for dinner, or of course, room service. Number 3, you can take the food from the buffet with you around the ship. If you want to grab a plate of food and just take it back to your room with you, that is absolutely something you can do. Or go take it and enjoy it out on a pool chair. There are very few restrictions on where you can take the food. Number 4, not only is there a buffet included on board each Disney cruise ship, there is also an included buffet on Disney's private island, Castaway Cay. Cookies BBQ operates on the island as a buffet and is included in the base cost of your cruise. It does, however, have a more limited selection than the onboard buffet.
Seafood again. When y'all be watching these videos, I be looking at the food. And to me, the food is a no-go. It's a no-go. Now I'm gonna have to look up some more Disney cruise videos and look at the food again. But from what I'm seeing from this video, I'm good. I'm going on the other cruises. I don't even know what that is in the pans. I don't know. Looking kind of questionable. Let me know in the comment section, Foodie Gang, if you're eating that, and hit the like button. Leave a comment down below whether you're watching me on a replay. We got the replay gang. I don't know, Foodie Gang. It's looking like a tough one.
And lastly, number 5, the buffet will be open on the morning of your final day on the ship before you disembark. If you want to eat breakfast on
And I just want to say that I don't like how they got all these different rules, all these different times. Look, I'm trying to be on vacation, and I'm not trying to have all these rules. It's confusing. I'm gonna be forgetting where to go, what day to get the food from. Too many rules. Have the buffet open and be done with it. You need to stop this. If people paid, I know this man paid a lot of money for this cruise ship or this cruise. So with that being said, y'all need to have everything open all the time, and the food needs to be looking a little bit better, a lot better than this. Okay.
On the ship before leaving on your final day, you can do that at the buffet, but it will not be the full normal breakfast menu. None of the more elaborate breakfast offerings, just the basic American classics. Things that are simple to grab and go.
Yeah, y'all need to stop playing. Um, he looked like he's very happy with the experience that he had, and if he's happy, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. This is the food, though. Then, I'm not gonna lie. Like when he said Disney cruise, I thought the food was gonna be fabulous. Look at those potatoes. They got salt and pepper on them. That's it. There might be some butter. And this is weird. It's weird that they have cookies next to potatoes. Is that weird to y'all? That's weird to me. Very, very strange. Okay. Um, it looks very nice. The cruise ship, like that, looks very nice. But like I said, I don't care where you go, foodie gang. If the food is nasty, you're not gonna want to stay there. You're not gonna want to be there because the food is nasty. But homeboy happy, that's all that matters. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel.
And there's only one station that you can get burgers and hot dogs on. Well, actually, in this buffet area here, it goes right.
Okay, so let me go back a little
So I
bit.
put a video
This
up
is
yesterday about how bad.
the worst food ever on board a cruise ship. Like I said, if the food is nasty, you're not gonna want to stay there. You're gonna be very upset. You're gonna want to leave. In this case, this man wanted to make a TikTok video and wanted to vent his frustration. And okay. So I have mixed feelings. If someone goes somewhere and gets nasty food, should they make a TikTok video? Sometimes it's justified, sometimes it's not. Now, this is why you got to be on your best behavior when you're working in the kitchen because you never know who is coming through to eat.
Bad the food is on the MSC Virtuosa in the buffet area, and Gemma decides that she was going to tell me I'm wrong, and there's only one station that you can get burgers and hot dogs on. Well, actually, in this buffet area here, it goes right round 360, and each end of the buffet area you can get hot dogs and burgers. If you go outside, there's a hot dog and burger stand out there near the poolside area. And then she goes, if you don't like the buffet, go in the main dining rooms. So let's have a little look at the food in the main dining rooms. I mean, it's supposed to be a steak. It's supposed to be chicken biryani. It's supposed to be some kind of soup.
Okay, so this man is saying that all this food is nasty and that it's not what it looks like it's supposed to be. I am surprised he's saying this because this food, in my opinion, looks way better than the Disney cruise ship food. But he is not happy.
And let me know in the comments what this is supposed to be, if you can guess. And then we got eggs.
Now, this one did look kind. It's not looking good. So if you're going to cruise, the food matters, and that just looks really nasty. And that looks like it would make my stomach turn. It's giving off like it's giving, you know, poop. It's not looking good. It's giving number three, not okay. I always say foodie gangs that you eat with your eyes. So even though you're eating at home, you want your food to look good. I don't want my food looking like this. This is not okay with me. I'm not eating this. And it's like I don't know what type of games y'all playing back here or out here back there, but y'all playing games. This is not something that, in my opinion, is even edible. Yeah, I don't know if this is how, if it was like self-serve or if this is the plate that they made for him, but this looks disgusting. I don't know what that was supposed to be. That ain't cool.
And then we got eggs Benedict from the breakfast the breakfast menu in the main dining area. I mean, what's that supposed to be on top of that? It don't look nothing like an eggs Benedict. And then we got a steak to finish off with, but it's not very well presented and it don't taste the greatest.
Now they did homeboy dirty. The first couple of options didn't look that bad, like the rice and the soup, but this, if you don't got good cooks, it really matters. Okay. Yes, if you don't have good cooks and the food looks nasty, it will ruin the experience. It will definitely do that. And I don't know what that protein with that dark brown sauce was, but it did not look good. And I'm not eating that. Like, I don't know what type of games y'all out here playing. Are you kidding me? You want me to eat this? Then like somebody went, I ain't even gonna say it. But there you have it. We've seen some good cruise ship food and we've seen some bad cruise ship food. And one thing I will say is that wherever you go, no matter what, the food has to be good, or it is going to make or break your experience. And then if you go somewhere and the food is bad, you're not gonna want to stay. You're gonna want to leave. You ain't gonna like it. You're not gonna be cool with it. But homeboy on our Disney cruise is happy. So that's look Disney. Look, Disney is winning with customers like that because they get to take your money and give you nasty food, and you still be happy because you were just there. But in his defense, nasty food does taste better on vacation, but it is still nasty food. But he could be someone that is used to eating, muffins or donuts or used to eating something simple. So he was just happy to be there and have the experience. All right, Foodie Gang. So we are going to go to a commercial, and then when we come back, I have some more videos to go over. And we're going to talk about cruise ship buffets even more. So stay tuned after these messages. Foodie Gang, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Foodie Gang. You're tuned in to Kitchen Talk with Chef Big Bank, Season 2, Episode 51. We are just chugging along here. Make sure you go back and watch my previous live streams so you know exactly who we're talking about and what we are talking about. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell to support this channel, and keep the stove on. Hit the Cash App, money sign, Chef Big Bank. So, before we left, we were talking about cruise ship buffets. And I showed you guys some great buffets and some not so good ones. And I think it is important to note is like it could be a hit or miss with the buffets and with the food when you go to any establishment, but it is so important for the food to be good because it can make or break the experience. Okay, so let me tell you about some of my most recent live streams. I went live today and I showed you guys how to make some delicious salads for meal prep. We had our kickback and table talk. We had easy breakfast cooking, so I made a fried egg sandwich for you, Foodie Gang, and I also showed you how to bake salmon. Before that, we talked about canned seafood and how it was made. And we talked about hurricane food tips just because I know it is the hurricane season. It is here, it's approaching. So I wanted to make sure that I went over some food tips for you during hurricane season and really any natural disaster you can use those tips for. In this live stream, we're going to be talking about food explored, cruise ship buffets. So, I got some more videos, so let's get right back into the content.
By a culinary team of more than 1,000 people. They dish out over 30,000 meals every single day. And they do it all from compact kitchens on a rocking ship. Once inventory is stored, chefs will come downstairs, pick up their order, and cart it away to be cooked. That's where this guy comes in.
Any food on board this beautiful ship, anything you eat it, is my responsibility.
Rehost team.
So, they have a lot of different kitchens, and so the cooks have to go get their food on carts. And if you have worked in the kitchen before, you know how important those carts are. They are so important because there is no way someone is going to carry pounds and pounds of food. So the carts come in handy because we're able to transport food quicker and safer and more efficiently. So the chefs have to, or the chefs or the cooks have to get the food and then cart it back to where their station is on the boat.
Team of 280 chefs run the kitchens 24/7. Each chef works 10 to 12-hour days. Contracts typically last for.
You hear that? 10 to 12-hour days. I don't think you guys understand how much work it is to work in the kitchen. There was a point in my culinary career where I would work two 12-hour shifts over the weekend and then work two full-time days. And those 12-hour days, because we would do all the meals. We would do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, like, can you imagine you're cooking 3 different meals for hundreds of people? It is a lot of work working in the kitchen, and the hours are long. And one thing I would say is like having small children and trying to work in the kitchen, it's very tough, especially if you're doing catering. If you're doing catering, you have crazy hours. It is really hard having small children. But I just want to say that these chefs and these cooks on these cruise ships work incredibly hard.
4 months without a single day off. Chefs on board cook up nearly 100 different menus every week. All the menus are developed at Royal Caribbean's Miami headquarters. And every week, chefs stick to the same rotation of menus, cooking up everything from racks of lamb to hand-rolled sushi. The food has to be diverse to match Symphony of the Sea's international passengers.
That makes a lot of sense. The food has to be diverse because there's international customers and clients traveling on those boats. They're not just all from the US, they're from all over the world. So that's why they feel as though they have to have an ever-changing menu is to match their clientele. Let me play that video for us one more time for the game to see if we missed anything. Go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out my content. A lot of great content. Okay, let's get back into it.
Ship kitchens run 24/7, manned by a culinary team of more than 1,000 people. They dish out over 30,000 meals every single day, and they do it all from compact kitchens on a rocking ship. Once inventory is stored, chefs will come downstairs, pick up their order, and cart it away to be cooked. That's where this guy comes in.
Any food on board this beautiful ship, anything you eat it, is my responsibility.
Rijo's team of 280 chefs run the kitchens 24/7. Each chef works 10 to 12-hour days. Contracts typically last 4 months without a single day off. Chefs on board cook up nearly 100 different menus every week. All the menus are developed at Royal Caribbean's Miami headquarters. And every week, chefs stick to the same rotation of menus, cooking up everything from racks of lamb to hand-rolled sushi. The food has to be diverse to match Symphony of the Sea's international passengers. Ship kitchens run 24/7, manned by a culinary team of more than 1,000 people. They dish out over 30,000 meals every single day, and they do it all from compact kitchens on a rocking ship. Once inventory is stored, chefs will come downstairs, pick up their order, and cart it away to be cooked. That's where this guy comes in.
Any food on board this beautiful ship, anything you eat it, is my responsibility.
Rijo's team of 280 chefs run the kitchens 24/7. Each chef works
So 287 chefs run the kitchen 24 hours. And so this one man is tasked with managing all of these people as well as creating or not creating but following the menu. And so you guys can see why the kitchen is a crazy job. And I will say to work in the kitchen, you have to be a little bit crazy. You have to be, you really got to be about their life because it's a lot. And these chefs and these cooks are working really hard and they're going through a lot.
10 to 12-hour days. Contracts typically last 4 months without a single day off. Chefs on board cook up nearly 100 different menus every week. All the menus are developed at Royal Caribbean's Miami headquarters. And every week, chefs stick to the same rotation of menus, cooking up everything from racks of lamb to hand-rolled sushi. The food has to be diverse to match Symphony of the Sea's international passengers.
So yes, there you have it. That is the life of a cruise ship cook and a cruise ship chef. And I have never cooked food on a boat, but I did have, let me get the episode for y'all, put it in the chat. I did have Nicole from my Facebook group come on to 907 Goodies, and she also lives on a boat, and she told us about her experience with cooking on a boat. And let me tell y'all, foodie gang, I have never imagined cooking on a boat before, but it seems pretty difficult. But in this interview with Nicole, she explained to us what it was like cooking on a boat and how she does it. So, and then while I get that information pulled up, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, so here we go. Yes, it was this interview. Nicole lives on a boat and she cooks amazing food as well. And she was explaining to us how she cooks this food. And let me tell y'all, foodie gang, it sounded pretty complicated to me. But it is possible. It is possible to live on a boat or to cook on a boat and to make great food. And and it sounds like to me you kind of just get used to it. But yes, y'all, look at all that bread. They are really cooking and they are handling a lot of food. I know at the end of the day, they are exhausted.
Members eat for breakfast on cruise ships. Well, on this cruise ship, Utopia of the Seas, this is what we're eating for breakfast, and it is the best breakfast I have ever seen on a cruise ship. Period. Crew members have been on this ship for months preparing it for its first sailing date. The ship is being built in France and it is finally finished and ready to be sent across the Atlantic Ocean to pick up our first guests in Florida in just a few weeks. We have been eating so good. It has been the best cruise ship food I've ever had in my life, and I wanted to share it with you just because I was so moved. One small tear left my eye as I ate my bacon and eggs. Normally all of us crew members eat down below deck on deck 2, but because we need to test out all the things on the ship, we're putting the buffet upstairs on deck 15 where the guests normally.
Now that is tight. Okay, so let me summarize to y'all what's going on. So he's on a newly built cruise ship that they are going to release to customers. But before they do that, the crew has to test out all the food and they have to test out everything. So the crew members are eating the guests that the cruise ship customers would eat so that they can test it out. And, that sounds wonderful.
Eat. I think this is partly to test everything and make sure things are working. Let
me go back a little bit.
Normally eat. I think this is partly to test everything and make sure things are working. I think it's also partly a gift for the crew members that have been here so early and have been working their butts off for the past few months. I am definitely a night owl, but I have been waking up every single day so far since I've been on the ship to go eat breakfast. And the best part about it is it's free. Everything tastes so much better when it's free.
Now, I agree with that statement. Free food always tastes better. And I do feel like when things are free, you cannot complain, in my personal opinion. Now, let's watch that one more time, Foodie Gang. See if we missed anything. Go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel.
What do crew members eat for breakfast on cruise ships? Well, on this cruise ship, Utopia of the Seas, this is what we're eating for breakfast, and it is the best breakfast I have ever seen on a cruise ship. Period. Crew members have been on this ship for months preparing it for its first sailing date. The ship is being built in France and it is finally finished and ready to be sent across the Atlantic Ocean to pick up our first guests in Florida in just a few weeks. We have been eating so good. It has been the best cruise ship food I've ever had in my life, and I wanted to share it with you just because I was so moved. One small tear left my eye as I ate my bacon and eggs. Normally all of us crew members eat down below deck on deck 2, but because we need to test out all the things on the ship, we're putting the buffet upstairs on deck 15 where the guests normally eat. I think this is partly to test everything and make sure things are working. I think it's also partly a gift for the crew members that have been here so early and have been working their butts off for the past few months.
Yeah, it's just to test everything out, but ain't nothing wrong with that.
I am definitely a night owl, but I have been waking up every single day so far since I've been on the ship to go eat breakfast. And the best part about it is it's free. Everything tastes so much better when it's free.
He sounds like he is having the time of his life, and I will agree with him. When things are free, they do tend to taste better. They do taste better, and when it's free, you cannot complain. Can't complain. You can't. So let me slide this back. Okay, so now this buffet was looking delicious. This buffet is looking pretty good. Wow, that's a cool job to be able to go work for a cruise ship, and they have a newly built cruise ship. And so before they open this to the public, they are allowing the crew members to test out the menu and to test out the food. So in this case, he is getting treated very good, and he is very happy and very satisfied with his job. So we are talking a little bit about what crew members have to go through. I have another video that's going to really walk us through the crew, what the crew, um, how it is to be a part of the crew. And so let me get that pulled up. Let me get that pulled up, Foodie Gang. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, so this is how much money do cruise ship employees make? Like you guys heard, let me just move some things around. Like we heard in the last, I think it was like the last two videos, he was saying that the crew members have to work um like 6 days a week. It sounded like 7 days a week. They're working all the time, 10 to 12-hour shifts. So you gotta ask yourself, if they're working that much, how much money do they make? Like we need to know.
Cruise ship employees or crew are without a doubt an essential part of the cruise ship industry. Some might even argue that they are the most important piece of your dream vacation at sea. After all, they are responsible for doing things like cooking all the food that you eat, giving you that Swedish massage, and making sure that you have a freshly folded animal towel in your cabin every day during your sailing. Most crew members working on board cruise ships work literally every single day throughout their contract, and during those days they can work up to 10 to 12-hour shifts, all in an effort to give you the experience of a lifetime. Now, during that time, you gotta wonder, with such a heavy workload, how much these crew members have to be making as far as money. Well, you're in luck, because that's exactly what we're going to talk about here in today's video. Now, before we dive into the numbers, because I'm assuming that's why most of you, if not all of you, are watching this video, there are a couple things that we absolutely have to take into consideration when we're answering the big question of how much money crew members make. As somebody that's worked for cruise lines like Carnival and NCL, I can tell you that there is a massive gap between the highest paid and the lowest paid crew member on any individual ship. There's also major factors that you have to take into consideration, like the cruise line the crew member might be working for, their country of origin, where they're living, their position on board, and how long they've been working on board cruise ships. There are other factors, but we're just going to leave it at those for now. Actually, I lied. I absolutely have to throw in negotiating skills as well. Personally, I consider that to be $1 million skill. You negotiate how much money you're going to get paid for your contract, as well as many potential benefits you might also receive during your contract. Now, before we get into this, guys, just one more little thing I got to put out there. Just a teeny tiny disclaimer. Just understand this video is, for the most part,
I do agree with him. How well you're able to negotiate does matter in the kitchen.
the internet. So I typed in how much money do cruise ship employees make, and obviously I got a ton of results. But I landed on a link from Indeed.com, and honestly, it did not disappoint. So according to Indeed.com, onboard cruise ships, food workers, for example, make just under $22,000 a year. Deckhands about $25,000 a year. Entertainers on board cruise ships $30,000 a year. And the captain can make up to $87,000 per year. Next, I just so happened to drift over to a Business Insider article that interviewed 35 current and former cruise ship employees back in 2019. Now, 2019, that was about 3 or 4 years ago, depending on when you're watching this video. Either way, just understand that this was before the pandemic when the world was somewhat normal. Now, out of these 35 current and former employees, they concluded that they were making anywhere between $500 and $10,000 per month. But it gets even crazier. Out of those 35, they learned that 40% of them were making less than $2,000 per month. But before we go ahead and dive a little bit deeper into those numbers, there's one thing that I need you guys to understand, that these numbers, there's something wrong with them. They lack context and details, things that you should really be focused on and understand if you really want to understand how much cruise ship employees make. So for starters, when it comes to that Indeed article talking about the potential salaries of crew members from the deckhands to the entertainers to even the captain, well, there's already a problem there because most of the crew on board are not salaried. They are not making an annual income because they are contractors. Usually they work contracts in the range of 6 to 9 months, sometimes 3 in the event that somebody unfortunately has gotten fired or a crew member has to leave early. The only people that could potentially be making annual income working on board cruise ships would be somebody like the captain.
And we got Dr. Frizzle in the building. He said, dropping by to say hello, smashing on the like button. Great topic at 9:07. Good eats. Thank you so much for sliding through. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Dr. Frizzle Frost's YouTube channel. So he's pretty much saying that everyone is different, which we all know that. We all know that Indeed is going to list a salary that's super high, but like he said, most people are contractors. When I worked in the kitchen, I was a contractor, and it was, man, they set it up to where they got locked. They are protected. Um, and so a lot of people are not going to be salary. Not everyone's going to be salary. Most of the times, the managers and the chefs will be salary, and all the cooks will be hourly. So let's get back into this video and let's see what else he got to say. I might even skip a little bit because he's going into the details. Okay, here we go.
Bartending job where that person is making tips because tips are very big and appreciated, by the way, for the crew members on board cruise ships. Now, let's say if a crew member is making at times, let's say $1,500 a month, they could potentially have deductions as well on things like their room and board, which is rare, but I have known crew members that had to pay things basically similar to a rent on board in order to stay there. Now, before I show all of you what I made during one of my contracts, I do want to try my best to make all of this kind of simple for you. When it comes to what crew members are making on board cruise ships, there is no set amount by any means as far as what each individual crew.
Bro, get to the point. Get to the point. He made like this 2-minute speech. Just get to the point. Tell us how much money you made and if it was worth it. That's all we want to know.
Member is making. But typically, if they are paying people as far as the cruise lines on the lower scale, they usually kind of look and adhere to whatever the national average is of each country in which each crew member resides from. So, for example, if they're paying people on a lower scale, if you're in a position, maybe it's your first contract or couple contracts, and you are a room steward, you're a waiter, you're a bartender, anything of that nature, or you're working in the galley, then you could be making whatever that lower amount is for the national average, especially if you're coming from someplace like a developing country, some parts of the Philippines, South America.
What? That's kind of foul. I did not realize that. That's the country that you come from, which I mean, it makes sense because, like you said, the cruise ships are international. But the country that you come from could determine your wages, your country of residence. Dang, so they could be paying somebody from the US a little bit higher than somebody from the Philippines. Oh man, he about to okay, now it took him a long time to get here, but now he getting to the good part.
Parts of Africa, places of those nature. I think you guys get what I mean. Now, when it comes to the entertainment, for example, one thing I got to point out is that typically when you go on board cruise ships, the entertainment is typically from places like the United States, someplace over in the UK, Europe, or over in Australia. That's typically what I've kind of gathered as far as working from cruise ships. And they could make anywhere from $2,000 a month up to $5,000 per month. However, there are exceptions. I've worked with people that are making a lot more depending on the position and show that they're doing on board. Now, as far as like the captain and the officers, it does range greatly depending on the cruise line that they are, of course, operating and the ships that they are sailing and all those other things. However, a captain can make anywhere easily between $50,000 and $100,000 per year. Now, just keep in mind when it comes to those positions, they are the ones that are typically salaried if that option is available to them. And also, in order to do all of this, they do have to kind of start at the bottom. Some of them are deckhands. They also have to go to a maritime school. Now, this is what I was saying earlier.
I've I've heard good things about working on a cruise ship. I heard that you can go away on a cruise ship, go away for a couple months and come back with a lot of money because you're not having to pay for like the food and the room. And even if you are, it's a lower price than your rent. That's what I heard, but I don't know. But let's see what he got to say.
Earlier when it comes to crew members. Most of them are just working 6 to 9 month contracts with no benefits whatsoever. However, the captain and the officers, on the other hand, they do have a little bit of an advantage, mainly because they went to school for this stuff. And obviously, it's kind of slim pickings. Not everybody can just up and decide they want to be a cruise ship officer or a captain one day. Now, as we conclude, I do want to show all of you what I made during my NCO contract. Just keep in mind that I only worked one NCO contract. It was a 6 month contract. And during that time, I was performing in a Broadway show known as After Midnight, and I was a principal character, meaning I was one of the main characters. So during the rehearsal process, which went on for just over a month, I was paid $2,400 each month. However, when I got on board the ship and I was actually performing, even though I was only working like literally 2 days out of the week, we were getting paid about $3,700. Now, I can tell you straight up that depending on the position is a major factor. I had a friend of mine that was making about $9,000 a month. So you can see what I'm talking about. Just because we were all in the same show doesn't mean we're all in the same position. Some people negotiate better. Some people just make better pay because they've probably done more than one contract. Actually, I remember there were people that were in my show that were on their fifth contract during that same show. But you get where I'm going with for watching this
Oh,
video. There are a couple things that we absolutely have to.
okay. So he wasn't entertainer. He wasn't entertainer. It sounds like he was making some good money. So I've heard good things about working on cruise ships. I've heard kind of similar to what he was saying is that you can go away for like 6 to 9 months and then you could make some good money, is what I've heard. You remember that one show that I forgot what channel it used to be on. I don't know if you guys ever saw it before, but it was called Below Deck, where they would work on a yacht and they would have to like try to do their best to serve the customers. And if they did a really good job, the customers would tip them. And if they didn't do a good job, the customers wouldn't tip them, and the customer would give them feedback on how their service was, depending on, and so they always wanted to work really well so that they can get a bigger tip. And, it seems like they were able to walk away with a lot of money. But I will say this, if you're working on a cruise ship, it is a remote job. And so when you're at work, you're at work. There is no I'm gonna go see my friends afterwards. No, you're on the boat. You're on the ship. So I've heard some good things about the cruise ships, and we talked about it. They have some great buffets, and they have some with not so great buffets. So you really got to be careful about which cruise you decide to pick. All right, foodie gang. So I wanted to talk about I wanted to talk with you guys about food explored cruise ship buffets. So to support this channel, keep the stove on, hit the cash app, money sign, Chef Big Bank. Join my group on Facebook, Chef Big Bank, a Foodie Gang fan page. Follow me on all my social media platforms listed down below. Get your Foodie Gang merch. Shop the Foodie Gang store. The link is in the description. And to make great live streams like this, my referral code for StreamYard is going to be in the description of the video. I think tomorrow I'm going to go live and make breakfast with you guys. Check out the live I did today on how to meal prep salads. And I also make children's content at Ava's Playtime on YouTube. And we announced the winner to the Foodie Gang first annual grill off. So that's really exciting. And also, Foodie Gang, I have been forgetting to tell y'all, I have so many announcements coming up, so much going on. I am going to start my Big Bank digital graphics, and I have a price sheet listed on my YouTube channel. And I think I might just show that to you guys before we get up out of here. Yes, let me just show that to y'all so we can all be on the same page. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. So let me get that pulled up while I do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to um available to make digital graphics if you need them. And I also have a price sheet on my YouTube channel in the community tab and on my social media. So let me show that to you guys, Foodie Gang. And I'm going to be working on developing my Big Bank digital graphics. I want to make digital graphics for those of you who are content creators who need help with graphics. If you need like business logos, YouTube thumbnails, or just like promotion. So let me check this out. See, you always got to come back and check StreamYard because sometimes they be trying to play you. Okay, we're going to go with that one. So, and this is going to be on the community tab of my YouTube channel. So yes, Big Bang Digital Graphics uses a price list. So YouTube video thumbnails, business logos, Facebook posts, a Facebook story on my profile, YouTube 30-second product mention, YouTube 1 to 2 minute product mention. The prices are listed. And if you need any type of graphics that are not listed on this sheet, feel free to send me an email. My email is listed right here, chefbigbank@gmail.com. And so, yes, if you need graphics or anything of that nature, reach out, send me an email, and let me know. Foodie gang gang gang.
Food gang gang gang.
All right. You're tuning in to Kitchen Talk with Chef Big Bang, Season 2, Episode 51. If you missed any episodes, be sure to go back and check them out. So I was having a little bit of Wi-Fi issues. That's all right, because we finna get up out of here and wrap this show up. After this live stream airs, come back and comment on the video. This is Food Explorer Cruise Ship Buffets. And we talked all about cruise ship buffets, about the workers, the buffet line, and all of that. And I showed you guys some different buffets. And all my contact information is going to be scrolling across the screen. So, like I said, Foodie Gang, I have some amazing content. Go check out my most recent live streams. Learn how to cook. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. I am going to try to go live tomorrow. So, I will be seeing y'all tomorrow, Foodie Gang, and in the comment section, and on my group on Facebook. I will see y'all around. And this has been a great live stream. Thank you guys so much for watching on the replay. Thank you so much for sharing my content. I appreciate that so much for you guys to share my content. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Okay, Foodie Gang. I will see you guys in the next one. I'm about to hit y'all with the outro video. I'm your host, and this is Kitchen Talk with Chef Big Bang. And I will see y'all in the next one. What's going on? Have a good one. Good night, good night, good night, or good morning, depending on where you are watching from. Peace. I'll see y'all next time, Foodie Gang. Foodie Gang, gang, gang.
Food gang gang gang.
Foodie gang, 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 gang. Foodie gang, 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 gang.
Foodie gang, gang, gang. This is Chef Big Bank. Thank you so much for watching at 907 Good Eats. Make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you next Wednesday at 9 a.m. I'm out.